Hey guys, I first started doing some Office tutorials on YouTube in German on another channel, link in description. Since I uploaded some workout shorts in English on this channel, I will also provide some Office tutorials in English. Enough said, let's have a quick look at today's agenda. As the title told you, it's all about the Vlookup. First, we take a look at what actually happens when we use this function. Second is analyzing our tables, where we want to build the connection. Then we have a look at the function and its arguments itself. And in the end, I'll tell you about the other VLOOKUP, so stay till the end. This might surprise you and help you to save time too. In this example function, we got the VLOOKUP searching for the value customer ID 1012 in the table customers and return the value from the second column. What happens now is that VLOOKUP grabs the value and goes to the other table. So we'll take 1012 and we go to the table customers. It's looking up the value in the first column of the selected range. Therefore, it walks vertical from top to bottom through each and every single cell, asking if the value is 1012. So, you're not, you're not, you're not, you're not. Yes, you are 1012. On this line, we now go to the second column and grab the value. So, in our case, Ottilius Käseladen. With this information, the VLOOKUP goes back to the first table and inserts the found content as outcome of our function, as you can see here, Ottilius Käseladen. Now that we know what actually happens, let's have a look at what we need to check before we start to type in the function. First thing is to figure out which value is available on both tables. If we got the customer ID on the main table, we need it on the source table too, and it needs to be the first column of our range. If this is not the case, we can easily move it by selecting the column and drag it to the beginning of our table, hold the Shift key so it will be cut and inserted. Now everything is prepared for our VLOOKUP. I will provide a short video for the most common issues during VLOOKUP and put the link in description. Now let's start our VLOOKUP. Click in the cell where you want to have additional information and type plus VL. Now you can double-click on the recommended function VLOOKUP and use the Insert Function button right above the column names. The function wizard allows you to focus on the argument, so you don't need to think about brackets or semicolons. Now let's choose our lookup value. You will find it always in the same row as the lookup itself. In our case, we use customer ID because this information is available on both tables. Next, click on the table array field and switch to your data source. In our case, it's on the third table, customers. As we look for a specific customer ID, we start selecting the first entry of the customer ID column. Now you can hit Ctrl and Shift and move to the right and move down. Our whole table is selected as long as there are no empty cells in between. We actually only need the first two columns, but selecting more columns is less a problem than selecting more rows. The most important thing about this argument is the cell reference. We always need an absolute reference with those dollar signs. We can add them by hitting F4 after selection. If we skip this, we would have not available from a certain line on. Now let's move on to the column index. This is simply the number of the column in your table array you want to return your value from. If you forgot to count the columns, click on the upper line again so you can jump to your data source. In our case, it's the second column, so I click in the column index argument and type in 2. Last but not least, we get the range lookup. This value is almost every time 0. Easy to remember with 0 difference from the lookup value. If you want to know what you can use range lookup 1 for, stay till the end. Now our VLOOKUP is finished and we can use the double click for the autofill function to fill till the end of our table. As you can see, the Vlookup is actually not that hard to use. Now let's move on to the second variation of our function, where it can actually do totally different things from the usual Vlookup you may be used to. In case of a graduation, you can use the Vlookup too. In our second example, we got the sales volume per customer and want to add the information if this is an A++ to D-rated customer. I built an ascending table starting with $0 going up to $100,000. If you use the conventional Vlookup, we can't expect any results because there is no exact match. Our lookup value is the customer sales amount. Our table array is the graduation. Column index number for sure is 2. And I use 0 again, and as you can see, no result. But now I click on the function again and go to Insert Function, and we change the range lookup from 0 to 1. As you can see, now I know this is an A+ customer. Using this type of the function, the Vlookup will go through the first column of our table array and will always choose the lesser one to the lookup value. It will always choose the lesser one, even if it's much closer to the higher value. Even if I type in 99,999.99, it will still say it's A+, not A++. Thanks for watching. I hope you see clear through the Vlookup function now. Hit the subscribe button and leave a like for the video so we can help each other for my channel to grow and for you to get more information about Microsoft Office. Thanks. See you next time.